Welcome to the Talk of Life Talk Show with Elma. Tonight I have our co-host Kimberly, I have our co-host Cynthia, our other co-host Linda, and then we have our guest Anita, and I'm going to introduce her later on in the show. This is a Christian-based talk show, which we love to bring people on the show and get into their business. Right, girls?
Yes.
We love getting into life history. We love learning and meeting new people. And I tell you, I love that. So before we get started, we always have to read our scripture. And that's coming from Philippians 1:6. Being confident of this very thing, that he which has begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. And that's what our purpose is to keep working until he calls us home. Our motivational saying is, life is a change. Growth is optional. Okay, so now we're going to get into Anita business. She is so beautiful. Isn't she beautiful? I love that necklace.
Thank you. It's a Nancy Garland exclusive.
I was just going to ask you, was that Nancy?
Yes.
This is Nancy was on the show before with all that beautiful jewelry, and I was going to ask you, was that part of Nancy?
Yes, it is.
All right, so we give a send off to Nancy for this beautiful jewelry that is on such a beautiful woman, okay?
Yes.
And if you look at the back, you'll see her beautiful portrait back here, and she's going to talk about that in a few minutes, okay? So tonight we have our special guest, Anita, and Anita is going to just tell us a little bit about herself, but I am just so excited, you all. I don't know if y'all had a chance to read it, okay?
Yes.
But the thing that really caught my attention is
Miss America?
Yeah.
I didn't even get to say it. Wow. I was like, look at this. She says on here. How did you get that quick? God, she read real fast. She says, having competed in the Miss America organization, I was the first African-American woman to be named Miss Memphis at Miss Memphis State University.
All right.
Yes,
we are such a celebrity up here. You all with us.
I don't know if it's a celebrity or not, but
you are a celebrity to us.
Take it, yes.
Because we never had anybody on our show, right?
Take it. You
Take
should own it. You should own it.
So, matter of fact, I want you to stand and just.
Yes. Show them what you do.
Show
them.
them.
Show them.
I love it. That is so awesome. When I was reading that, I was like, oh my God.
That is so good.
We always have such a first time. I mean, don't we have so many first time on our show.
That is beautiful.
So you have really blessed us tonight. Yes, and we're going to let you just tell us a little bit about yourself. And I want to know about this.
Okay, well, thank you so much. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me, and it's such a pleasure to meet all of you. I am originally from Memphis, Tennessee. That's where I grew up, and I went to school at Memphis State. And I was trying to figure out a way to pay for school. And what a lot of people don't know is that the Miss America system is the largest scholarship pageant in the world for women.
Wow.
Okay.
See what I'm talking about? I gotta stop.
Amen.
So
awesome.
So it's not just a beauty pageant. You have to be in school. You have to be smart, intelligent, and it's all about your presentation.
Right.
It's about presenting yourself. So anyway, I started in the local pageants and won, and I'm telling my age now. It was back in the 80s. And so I competed. My very first pageant I won. My second pageant I won. And then
what pageant was this?
It was the Miss Memphis pageant.
Okay.
And the Miss Memphis, and I was actually the first African-American woman to win that. And then
wait, stop.
Okay.
This is so exciting. So let me ask you this. Were you the only black?
I was the only one.
Out of all the
Yes, ma'am. And it was over 100 girls.
Get out of here.
And it was my first attempt. And so that was pretty special as well.
It is.
Wow, that is so exciting.
Yeah. So I went from there and I went on to the Miss Tennessee pageant and competed there. Won talent, won swimsuit. Then I went back and competed for Miss Memphis State University, and then I won there, went back to Miss Tennessee, and I placed in the top 4. I was 4th runner-up.
Get out of
Yes,
here.
and so from there, it kind of progressed as far as presentation, because a lot of people have the wrong impression of what pageants are. They think it's just walking around in an evening gown and a bathing suit, but that is
say that bathing suit.
And in order to do that, you have to have confidence. And in order to get through your interview, you have to have communication skills, and you have to have presentation skills. And so I think that is what got me there, because as a little girl, my parents put me in the Sears School of Etiquette. And so that's where it all started. That's where it all started. And then so from there, I just remembered the importance, and I remember what people instilled in me and what people did for me. And so I have turned it around, started a business so that I can give what I have and my talents and give it to others, so that they know it's all about your presentation.
Really
you know, good manners and etiquette can take you where a great education can't.
Yes, can.
That
You
is
have to
so
be
awesome.
well-rounded. So that's what I do.
So let me
you're-
ask you. Oh, go ahead.
So your parents had you in the Sears
Yes,
School of
Sears.
Etiquette.
Yes.
So that was high school, junior
Oh,
high?
no, that was middle school.
that was middle school.
That
So
was
from-
middle school.
So
From
when did you decide you wanted to do pageants?
when I
After-
got into high school.
Okay.
Yes.
okay.
And then that's when I started, kind of started moving forward with that. And
Wonderful.
it came so easy to me. It was very easy for me to do it. And with it being my first time.
What was your first pageant?
My first pageant was the Miss Memphis pageant.
Miss Memphis.
Yes.
All right.
And the Miss
You was in high
But that was for
school.
high
I
school.
was in high
Okay,
school. Yes.
great.
And yes, I would and I was competing with women that are pageant queens that compete for everything.
Right.
So I just thought it was going to be an experience for me. I didn't realize I was going to win. And also, too, remember, the Miss America pageant is also a talent competition. It is evening gown, swimsuit, and talent. So I had to perform. I had to model. I had to do an interview. It was everything.
What was your performance or your talent?
I did a song and dance. I'm
You can
actually a
sing,
triple threat, singing, dancing, acting. So,
Wow.
but I performed a double talent. Yes.
So are you still singing?
I sing a little bit, but not as much as I
Oh,
used to.
you know, give us a little
I know, give us
Give us a little
Come on,
Yeah,
give us some
I don't-
Anita
I don't-
Baker.
I
Give
don't
us
sing
some
it.
Anita
I
Baker.
don't sing as much as I
Yes.
used to. I kind of
But
got out of
that
that.
is awesome.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you still had to go through the swimming suit. Did you do the bikini?
Oh no, we didn't do bikinis back
Back
in the
then.
80s. We only did one piece.
The one piece.
Yeah,
That
and
was
I actually
awesome.
won swimsuit.
Get out of
Yeah,
here.
I actually
That
won
is
the
awesome.
swimsuit.
So did y'all go on a lot of trips, or
Oh,
was it just in Memphis?
It was. I did a lot of traveling, especially being the first African American. It was kind of like I was a
Yeah.
celebrity.
You
so
were.
You
I got
were.
a lot of
Yes,
things.
you
I
were
know you
on it.
did.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, and also too, that helped me with my presentation because I was speaking in front of churches and Rotary
Yes.
clubs and everything. And so I had to be able to stand there confidently,
Yes.
looking people in the eye
Right.
and doing what I do.
Right.
Okay, let me ask you this. I know you said your first pageant was when you was in high school.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you still had to go to school.
Yes.
You still had to get all your homework.
And keep my grades up.
So how were you able to do? I mean,
Time management.
but you know, you are a young lady in high school.
Yes. But I come from a family of very rigid, strict, time-oriented family. So I could see what my mom and dad did. And so I
Mhm.
kind of followed what they did.
Okay, what about friends?
I wasn't a real big friend person because
Okay.
I always felt like I needed to be, even at that age, I felt like I needed to be with what I call get it people.
Okay, what is
Okay.
get it, people?
Okay, people
Go
that
after
that go after it.
I love these definitions.
Yeah.
I know.
People,
I love it.
people that go after it. So I
Right.
wanted to surround myself with people that had the same interests that I had.
And that's good.
Yes, ma'am.
That's really
And
good.
so, and at that age, it was very hard to find that because
That's what I
people
was
have a lot
wondering.
of different priorities at that.
So
stage in
what
their
age
lives.
did you first
I
start?
started at 16
Okay, so why did you decide to do this? I mean,
because I
what's
was
that?
planning on money for school.
Oh, okay.
Oh, for the
Uh-huh.
scholarship.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So
For the
she was,
scholarship.
you was really thinking way in advance
Yes.
for a 16-year-old
Yes.
to be thinking about
Yes.
college and all of this.
How did your
Yes.
parents react to it? Because you have to get the gown.
Oh yeah, I had to get the
It's a
gown.
lot.
It's a lot, and it's
the
expensive.
fees,
I was
It's
just gonna
expensive.
say,
Yeah,
it has to be
Yeah,
expensive.
and so, and I want to tell you a story about that because this is interesting. My very first pageant, my parents were like, you're going to do this, you know, and then when they found out everything I needed. So my first dress was handmade by a man named John Baker in Memphis, Tennessee. And it was a homemade dress.
Wow.
And just think, it doesn't matter how expensive, what brand, it's how you wear the dress, not how the dress wears you.
I like that. I like that. And that's with anything, huh?
Absolutely.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So then you moved on from, I mean,
And
this
then-
is just
and
so
yes,
amazing.
And then I moved on from there. And then I decided that I wanted to give back with like I was given. And I just remembered and how much your presentation matters because you know, do you know how soon people form an impression of you? Do you know how quickly?
Yes.
How quickly? Can you tell me?
Time you walk through the door.
How many? What'd you say?
Probably about
7.
What? 7 seconds.
7 seconds, yes. And that's before you even say anything because it can go by your nonverbal communication, your body language,
And
everything.
that body language really plays
And there's
big
a lot
part.
to put into that 7 seconds
That's right.
because there's never a second chance to give a first
That's right.
impression.
Right.
And that goes into interviewing too. So you have to really be careful because that first impression, it means a lot.
Absolutely.
How you walk in and how you present yourself. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, and so my company, we a lot of people when they see my company, it's called Prim, Poised and Proper LLC, and I do talk about manners, but I am in social graces. We do manners, we do table etiquette. A lot of people think manners is only table etiquette. There's so much more.
Yes.
There's business etiquette,
Right.
elegant leadership, communication skills. That all is a part of it.
Right.
And when you are growing up and you're trying to decide what you're going to do in your life, and even older people like us, it's not
AARP.
Yeah, we can use refresher courses. We can use refresher
Yes, right.
because sometimes
Right.
we become laxed and we forget
That's
what we
right.
need. So
Right.
in my business, I work with everyone from 6 years old up to however old.
Wow.
That is
Yes.
awesome.
You know,
That be
that's beautiful.
AARP?
We are AARP.
So how long is the class? Like, is it?
Well,
a
it
series
depends.
of
It's a
workshops or-
series. It can go anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, 2 days a week, an hour. But what I do is I offer the curriculum by the subject that you want to work with, and then we work out a plan and a program for you. And
Nice.
especially the younger kids, I have to go a little shorter because you can lose them
Right.
with their
Right.
attention span.
Right.
So my courses fluctuate depending on who I'm working with.
Right.
That makes-
Yes.
What
And
days do you do?
every day.
Every
Every day
day.
except Saturday and Sunday. And right now, my business right now is totally virtual. And it's going very well. It's
That's
going very well.
good.
Yes.
Are you using what, Zoom?
Zoom?
or-
Yes, ma'am. I'm using Zoom.
That's what I'm using is Zoom. I'll be Zooming tomorrow. Everything is Zoom. Okay, so here you talk about your passion for etiquette protocol. Dressing for success has no bound. Okay,
Mhm.
so is that like the interviewing skills? Or
Yes,
when you say that?
that is also a part of it. My saying is dress the way you want to be addressed.
I like that.
And no one wants to read a book if the cover's not inviting.
Right. That is
So
true.
that's
and
true.
that's the reason why they read the back of the book to
That's
see
right.
if they're interested
That's
in
right.
that. That's good
Uh-huh.
sense.
And
okay.
and especially our young people these days, they don't really know how to differentiate between the events and what is appropriate and what is not. Well,
Mhm.
I shouldn't say just the young people. Some of us have an issue with that as well. But I try to work with people to let them know what's appropriate for what event
Mhm.
because everything is not
That's true.
appropriate to wear to everything. And you
Right.
have
That's
to
true.
know
Right.
the different styles of dress, formal, informal, casual, so that you're always
Mhm.
appropriately
And
attired.
that's true.
Mhm.
Okay, because see, on for interviewing, what can you tell them to wear? Because now a lot of people are out of work
They are. They
and
are.
they're very fearful. Because I teach a lot of interviewing school. I used to do it. I'm getting ready to do one now
Mhm.
on Zoom. But I would like for you to share with them because you have a lot of people are afraid to go to interviews because they don't have the right attire.
They don't have the right
and They think
attire.
they're supposed to wear a suit all the
Mhm.
time. They are not used to business casual.
Right.
So
And so
Let's talk on that.
what I would say to them is just be cautious. Make sure your things are clean. Hopefully you can have them pressed. Try to wear
That's-
something
that's
that
a
has
good
a
point.
collar on it for the young men.
Mhm.
Try to wear, a pair of shoes other than a pair of sneakers. And for the ladies, a nice pantsuit,
Right.
skirt,
Mhm.
blouse. You can do that.
Mhm.
Just be very light on the jewelry, be light on the
Mhm.
makeup
Right.
because you want them to see you and not see the other stuff because you're there to interview for that job.
Right. So you wouldn't wear the real logo?
No.
Oh, absolutely
What
not.
about the hoochie mama?
No, there is a time and a place for everything.
Thank you.
Okay, but not
But you'd
for
be
the interview.
surprised at some of the people that walk in with, because they don't know.
They don't know. And
They don't know.
And you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
That's right.
And so that's why I do what I do, because I love, it's my purpose and my passion,
Mhm.
and I love helping people
Right.
and to be the best that they can
That's
be.
right.
It's never too late or too early to be the best possible you.
That's right.
It really
You
is.
know,
Mhm.
because see, where we work, we see people come in all shades, colors, and all. Right, Kimberly? They even come in with the rollers in their hair,
House shoes.
house shoes, the pajama thing,
Mhm.
and they're coming to a workplace
Pajama ball.
Yes.
and they're walking in like this. And then we have companies, they're interviewing
Right.
and they're walking in like this, and the company's looking like, really?
And what we have to realize is that they don't know any better. They
Mhm.
have not been taught.
That's right.
And so these are the type of programs that I like to work
Right.
with,
I
to
love
work
it.
with the people that are coming back maybe into the workforce, coming from
Mhm.
somewhere else, because they need to know
Yes.
so that they can have the same advantages that other people
Right.
have.
Okay. Do you help people that, like, I work for parole?
Yes.
So you.
Yes,
okay.
coming back into
Right.
society. Yes, ma'am, I do.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
And see, that would be
Intrigue.
good because a lot of them, their whole thinking mentality has to
Yes.
be
Right.
changed
Mhm.
because they don't know.
Right.
Yes.
Because they might walk up in there with the orange and the black.
Right.
Yeah. So you know, it's all about learning and teaching. And
Mhm.
just learning and teaching them so that they can be open to know, because you don't want to miss out on an opportunity
Right.
Right.
because
That's
of
true.
something that can be changed so easily.
So easy.
And the competition is so high these
Yes.
days that you want to
Yes.
separate yourself
Right.
by
Right.
those things. And
Right.
and those little things that can matter is a proper handshake,
Right.
That's true.
eye contact,
That's true.
Mhm.
the way you sit, the way
Mhm.
you stand.
Mhm.
Those are all the things that make a difference.
Okay. How would you sit if you was a male?
If I
I
was a
would-
male, I would
yes.
just sit straight up with my
Okay.
feet here. I'd sit straight up.
Okay.
Posture is everything.
Right.
And for a lady, I'm going to cross my legs at the ankle in an
Right.
interview,
Right.
and I'm going to just sit up straight. I'm not going to slouch. I'm not going to slump, because I want to seem confident
Mhm.
and I
Mhm.
want to seem like
Mhm.
this is my
And you're
job.
interested.
Right.
This is my job. I came to interview for it, but it is mine.
That's right.
And because if you're not confident, if you don't feel confident,
right.
then
Say
it's
it.
not going to.
You're not gonna work.
Protect-
And they'll
No.
pick up on it quick.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, I want to go back to your Miss America days.
I know, I'm still
Or
there
Miss
too. My
Memphis
mind's
days.
Miss
still
Did you
there.
have any when you were going to other places and you had to present yourself?
Mhm.
Did you ever come across racism back then?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a good
It was
question. That's good.
it, and I remember
I
like
shouldn't say
it.
back
I
then, 'cause that wasn't that long
remember.
ago. I was born in the 80s,
like
so.
it was yesterday. But yes, I did. But it was very subtle.
Right.
It was very subtle. It was very
Uh-huh.
subtle. And I always had a chaperone that went with me everywhere. If it wasn't my father, it was another member of the organization, and they were very protective of me. But yes, there was, but it was very subtle. But I was able to handle
Rise
it.
above.
Absolutely, I
Rise
could
above.
handle it. Absolutely.
All right.
When I was 1983, Deep Creek Hornets, Chesapeake, Virginia, I won Homecoming Queen. And I still remember that this day when the cars drove up from the dealership, and it was a Chevrolet dealership. They drove up, they lined up, and it was a white, an Asian, and then me. And the dealership said that they cannot ride a black person in their car on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious?
But the Asian
I
was
st-
okay though.
Wow.
Everybody else could get in, but I could not get in. And I'm just like, I froze. My parents weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
And the young man whose father, he owned a real estate company. His father had to go get his car
To drive you.
to drive me on around. And I ended up winning.
That was good. I'm glad you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
I ended up
Yeah.
winning, but yeah, it was a shock. And I'm standing there, and they actually said we cannot drive anyone that's black
Wow.
in
Wow.
this car.
Wow.
Okay.
That
What
is
dealership
something.
was this?
This is Chevrolet, but it was 1983.
Okay, but what dealership you
Uh,
said?
it was
Nerve.
Chevrolet. It was
Oh.
way back
Oh,
then.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, it was subtle, but
Mhm.
it yes, absolutely. The answer to that question is yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's a big milestone for you to have
Yeah.
accomplished.
Yeah, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it was as well, especially with the competition that I
That's
had.
what I was about to say.
And I was a novice.
Mhm.
I was a novice compared
Right.
to what I was competing against.
Right.
Yes.
Yes,
think
and
about that
so
part.
that was really, I think, what really made
Exciting.
me excited. It was that, I was doing it to test the waters, to try it
Yes,
out,
right.
and then I ended up winning.
Winning.
Yes,
See?
ma'am.
That's good.
And that is so
That's
much
really good.
confident
That is.
that you didn't let no one even put that idea that you could not
That
win.
you
No,
couldn't
I
win.
didn't.
And see, a lot of people, they'll go in there and they see all these races up in there and they'll say, I'm the only African American in here. I
Mhm.
can't win this.
Yeah,
And and that's the reason why I hate the word can't.
yeah,
I just don't like it because
yeah.
when I hear the word can't, it gives me that
Mhm.
that
And
I
we-
can do this.
That's right. And we
Right.
can do whatever we put our minds
Yes.
to.
Yes, we
It's
can.
all about preparation.
That's
When
right.
you
Exactly.
prepare, proper
Exactly.
preparation, then you can do it. You can do
That
it.
is
Yeah.
So from
awesome.
college, you graduated from college. You're Miss Memphis,
Mhm.
everything. You Miss Memphis, everything. Okay.
I love
Pretty
it.
much.
Yeah. Did you go right into your company?
I went.
or you
I went
waited?
right into my company, and so I ended up in Texas. I married my husband, who was in Fort Worth at the time. I met him, and so I got married.
So how'd
moved
you
here.
get to Texas?
I got to Texas working with the airline, working with American Airlines. So I got
okay.
here that way, and then I met him.
So you
And
know
then-
Renanda Gray?
Interesting.
No.
You know Renanda Gray? Okay.
Mm-mm. So I got here and then married, and I've been here now for over 20 years.
Wow.
So, and
What did
yeah,
you do at American Airlines?
I was a flight attendant.
I
Of
figured
course.
that.
Yeah.
Pretty sure
That's
she
not
had to be a
bad.
flight.
Mhm.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And so
That's awesome.
I have, I love what I do.
Great
I
career.
love my business. I love working
Yes.
with everyone. I feel like I'm a people person, but I just love helping people
Yes.
better themselves, to get themselves, because sometimes people need a little, sometimes people have it and they just need a little nudge.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Sometimes people don't
Yes.
have it at all. They never
Yes.
learn it. And then there are a lot of people that are in the business
Mhm.
world, that just want to have refreshers because they're getting
Yes.
promotions and moving up, and they just want to be able to present themselves in the
Yes.
proper manner. But my saying with my company is Prim, Poised and Proper
Mhm.
equals positive presentation.
So that's the
Okay.
name at the beginning. You
Yes.
haven't had to change your name, because I know
No.
some people start
Same.
business and they'll start with one name
Nope,
and then
that's-
they'll
that's-
revise it.
No, that's my name. That's it.
That's-
Prim,
And
Poised
you've been in
Proper.
this how many years?
I've fully as a registered business
Mhm.
for 5 years,
Okay.
because I did it a lot, just giving it away.
Okay.
Right,
Okay. And so
right.
wake up, ding, ding, ding now. Okay,
Yeah.
let's make some
And
money
yes,
now.
and so I've been doing it now, and I'm an LLC, and I have my primpoisandproper.com, and so this is what I do, and I love it.
I can tell. Look at the excitement that she has on
Yes,
her
I
face. She
absolute-
loves
I
it.
You have a like
absolutely-
page on Facebook?
Yes, I have a page on Facebook,
Mhm.
and it's Prim, Poised and Proper. That's my
Okay,
business
okay,
page.
okay.
Uh-huh,
Y'all hear
yes,
that? Y'all hear
And
that?
you can go on there, and it's beautiful.
Thank
know.
you.
So this is when a person really love what they're doing, the time just goes by real fast. So I know your days are very busy.
Yeah, they
So
start
tell us
early.
what you do with your days.
Well, it's been a little different the last 6 weeks or so with the pandemic, but
Mhm.
haven't been able to go to the gym, so I've been doing my workouts at home
Mhm.
and walking. And then my classes start about 9. I normally have
Okay.
one at 9, and then they go 9, 11, 1.
Wow.
I've been really, really busy.
What's your average class size?
Well, right now I'm just doing individuals because I'm
Okay.
doing Zoom. But if you look on my Facebook page and on my website, you'll see I have classes up to 25 or 30. It just
Oh,
depends on the
that's
organization that I
awesome.
work with. Yes.
Wow.
Mhm.
Are you doing corporates?
I
corporation?
have done some
Okay.
corporate, but a lot of my things are I work with groups like the Alphas and their Botillion, Jack
Okay.
and Jill of America,
Yes,
their
yes.
Botillion,
Right.
Deltas, their Botillion.
Yes.
Right.
Ambassadors, I do a lot with them, with their girls
That's
and
good.
stuff. So
Did
and
you
I-
pledge while you was in
I
college?
did not. I saw my sister go
I
through
was
that,
like-
and I said, no.
Mine do. I said no.
So if that
I
was
didn't have
not,
time.
yeah. But I love it, and also too, I'm still using my dancing skills by choreographing dances for Botillions and Cotillions. So I do the
Wow.
waltz dances. So I'm into a little bit of
I can
everything.
tell, girl, you into everything from singing to dancing and all of
Yeah.
this. So,
Yeah.
Okay, when they what is the one where the young girls is that debutante?
That's a cotillion or debutante.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you teach them.
I do their waltzes. They do a waltz with their bows.
Yes.
And then we have the botillion, which is a young man, and they have bells.
Okay.
And so they do waltzes with their moms. And so I choreograph. And yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is so exciting. So you teaching them all that good stuff.
Yeah. So and all of that goes into the presentation. When you're it's a coming out.
Right.
And so that's when you learn the etiquette and the waltz, and so that you're able to be presented into society.
Let me ask you this. When you was learning how to walk, did you have to put the book on your head?
When I started in the Sears class, it's like it was yesterday. When I started in the Sears class, yes, we did walk with books on our heads. And when I teach the younger ones, the little girls, we do that actually now. Still do that with the books to balance, to make sure the posture is perfect.
With the book on their head and they have to walk a certain way.
Yes.
Because I be watching the ladies when they come down the walkway,
right,
and how they be. I mean, they have their walk.
Oh, yeah.
And I be thinking, are they going to fall because the way they be walking? So do you teach them that too?
I teach them that. Yes.
So do you work with any of the other young ladies that are getting ready to go into the Miss America pageants?
Oh, yeah. I train. I've actually, yes.
That is awesome.
I have been working with a young lady that competed in Miss Texas USA. I worked with a young lady that competed in the United Miss. I do a lot of that because we need the help, and our young women they still don't really know that much about pageants, even though we're having a lot of African American winners. I still want to expose our young ladies to that, because sometimes pageants get a bad name, but I'm telling you, it is such a stepping stone for you, because competing in those teach you so much.
Wow.
It teaches you so much that you can take out into life. Yes.
So do they rehearse you all with the questions, or they just ask you the questions?
Those questions are they don't know.
So when you walk up there, when they read that question, you haven't been rehearsed over it or anything.
But that's why you need to be up on your current events, and you need to be up on politics, because those questions could come from any of those places. So you need to be prepared.
And I was thinking all this time that when they was getting ready to ask those questions, I'm thinking that they have already given them the questions and they have to know how to answer. Because some of them answer those questions very well. Let
me tell you. There are some very, very intelligent women that are competing in that.
Oh, yes.
So
they are.
Because I love watching it.
You have to be. It's a well-rounded. You have to be well-rounded.
Yes, because they go on from their state, then they go from state to.
That's right. You go from local, and then you go to state, and then you go to the national. So you go from, like, I was Miss Memphis. Then as Miss Memphis, I went to Miss Tennessee, and then Miss Tennessee would go to Miss America. Those are the steps. You have preliminaries, and then you have states, and then you have the national.
Wow.
So in the Miss America, you go to the Miss America. How
That's
do you
it.
get?
You can't even get there.
Okay. Now,
what about the Miss Universe?
Okay. Now, don't confuse the pageants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Miss America is an educational pageant that gives scholarships. You have to be in school.
Okay.
USA and Universe are beauty pageants.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay.
So Miss America.
Those are two separate
I'm glad you
organizations.
said that.
Miss America and the USA are two separate pageants. They do not go together.
Miss America is for
scholarships.
Smartness.
So you're in college for the Miss America.
Yes, because the funds that you win as Miss America, they go directly to your school of choice that you are. So you have to be in a school. You have to be registered.
That is
okay.
awesome.
So when you win, do you get part of that money, or
it goes all to education?
All to
okay.
education.
Now there could be some other prizes, jewelry or whatever, but the monetary is all scholarship money.
Wow.
And then you get the recognition.
And you get the recognition. Yes. And then once you're not Miss America, whoever, you're doing speaking engagements and things like that. But if you do the research on our former Miss Americas, they're doing some amazing things.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that out, because I'm thinking you have to go from Miss America to Miss.
So
they are two different. So
they are two different, because USA and Universe
are
one,
pageant.
and then America is different. Those are two separate systems.
Okay. Did you ever think about going?
No.
She said that quick.
I got my
no,
title.
I got this is all I want
Title.
right
I'm
here because
good.
some of them think, well,
Mhm.
maybe I can go and try out for
Right.
the USA.
Right.
Ah, that is so
Right,
awesome.
right.
That is
And
awesome.
so
It
from there,
is.
that's what brought me into this. And then this is what I'm doing. And like I said, a lot of people always assume that etiquette is just table manners,
Mhm.
but it is a combination of a lot of things.
Okay.
Social skills,
Okay.
yes, there's
Mhm.
social skills. It's like
Most
life skills
definitely.
and things that you need to know. When you have a good grasp on your social skills,
Okay.
that means you're socialized, and then you are able to interact in society without offending people and making people comfortable. And because having manners and great social skills is really not for you,
Right.
it's for everybody else
Yeah.
because you want to make them feel
Good.
at ease and
Okay.
make them feel
Okay.
comfortable because you know what to do that's proper.
Okay. Now, for our audience that may not know about social skills, can you give them an example of what? Just a little.
Yes,
Because
I
some
can.
of them don't know. They'd be like, "What is she talking about?"
Yeah, social skills are, I'm going to give you an example. Opening the door for someone, letting someone exit the elevator before you,
Okay.
pulling
That's
out a chair
good.
for someone.
Okay.
Okay, saying please, thank you, and you're welcome.
Wow.
Okay.
Those are social
Thank
skills.
you.
Can't say
Did you
whatever.
all hear that?
Pastor, you can't say whatever.
You can't say whatever.
No,
No.
no.
Dang.
Oh, or you get ready to walk in, they slam the door in your face.
Get
Yeah.
yourself.
Now,
Look,
that's
get
an example
yourself.
of not being socialized.
Thank you. And you know what? I was today. I went to the bank and I thought this was so rude of this guy. I was getting ready to get out. I was getting out of my car, and he saw me getting out the car, and this guy had just finished the ATM, right? And I'm getting ready to walk up. He just walked up there in front of me and put his little card in there. And I'm thinking, that is so rude.
Mhm.
That was not social
That's
skill.
not social
No.
skills, no
You
ma'am.
know
Right.
it was your turn.
But
Yeah.
maybe,
I
he
should've
didn't,
told- that's
maybe
not
he didn't feel
social
like he
skill.
had to be social to you. Social distancing.
No, but it was just the fact that he saw
rush.
me parked. I was parked first. I'm getting out.
Mhm.
You
And
still
he
walking
just got
love
out his
past
truck
him.
and walked up there. But he saw me walking towards that. That was rude.
But you
Yeah,
still
that is
walking
that
love
is
past
yeah,
him.
That
not
was
being
rude. You know,
socialized.
he just walked in front of me and
Pastor,
just.
you spoke. You
And I
spoke.
told my son, I just walked back in my car. I told my son, I said, you know, that is so rude.
Mhm. And you know, one thing too, you never correct anybody's bad manners,
No, I
especially in
wasn't about
public.
to, 'cause
So
I was gonna correct them in an
yeah,
ugly way.
yeah.
And I didn't want. No, I wouldn't. You know, I wasn't.
I just-
But if I was the old Brown, I would have. But I thought it. But I said, oh, that's so rude for people to do that.
Yes,
You
yes.
know,
But like I said, some people have not been taught
Mhm.
and they just don't know.
right?
They
Okay,
just
so
don't know.
I like this. I'm looking at you here with this adorable face on your page. And even though I was taught etiquette way back then, still when I sit at that table and I see all them glasses and forks, I be like, I need the salad fork.
Yes. Well, okay. So, Kimberly. So the thing is that a lot of people will decline invitations to dinners.
Okay.
They will make excuses why they can't go. And you know why?
Yes.
It's not because they don't have anything to wear. It's not because they are busy. It's because they're afraid of that table setting.
Okay.
Because you can go anywhere from
Wow.
2 courses to 3
Mhm.
courses. You can get
To
on
7.
up to 7, 8, 9, 10 courses.
Mhm.
And it can be a little confusing.
It
Mhm.
is.
And so people do not want to attend because they are afraid that they're going to make a mistake and be embarrassed at the
Right.
table.
And pick up the wrong fork.
Yes. And when you're
Yeah.
when I teach you, it is so simple. It is very, very
Okay.
simple. I don't care how many forks, spoons,
Mhm.
knives, glass. There is a
Yeah.
very simple system to
Okay.
this.
Let's go down here. Let's see.
Well, let's go talk
Come
about
on,
it.
let's go see.
Okay.
Let's get
Okay.
this.
All right. Let's see about this.
Okay.
I mean, it's so beautiful.
It
Well,
is.
thank
That's
you.
that fine
And I
Neiman
probably would
Marcus
pick up the
china.
wrong fork. Knowing me, I would probably pick up the wrong fork.
Okay. So the trick to this
Mhm.
is that here, this table is set up for a 4-course meal. We have a meal, salad, soup, and dessert. Okay. So
Oh, so that's why it's four
that,
course.
that's
the
what that
dessert.
is 4
Oh.
courses. Yes, we have a dessert. So you have a small fork, a big fork, a small spoon, a bigger spoon.
Mhm.
The simple way to do this is you start from the outside and you work in.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So if
Okay.
they bring out your salad,
Uh-huh.
you start with this fork. And this fork is the smaller fork. So that's
Okay.
how you know. Then they bring out your soup. Okay?
Okay.
But you probably did your tea first, so you needed to stir your tea. This is your teaspoon, okay?
Oh, the
Now,
smaller spoon.
a smaller spoon is your teaspoon, okay?
Oh, okay.
And then your soup comes out. Guess
Okay.
what? Outside in. The big spoon. That's your soup spoon, okay? And then you have your knife here, and your knife is used for everything. You know, your salad, your meal, and your knife, whenever you set the table, the knife blade is always facing into the plate, okay?
Good.
So
Okay.
you work from the outside in. That
That's
way.
neat.
And another thing, if you're still nervous, just sit and wait and watch.
Want somebody else?
Because somebody's going to do it right, and you just do what they do, okay? Now, have you ever been at an event where you're sitting at a table of round and you're like, oh my goodness, what bread plate is mine? What glass is mine?
Yes.
Okay.
What glass is mine?
Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
BMW, bread, meal, water.
I'm thinking of a car. BMW.
BMW,
Bread.
meal, water. So
Wow.
your bread plate is always on your left. And
Okay.
your drinks are always on your right. Okay? Another one. B&D. Bread on the left, drinks on the right.
That's
Just hold your
interesting.
hands up. B&D. Bread, okay?
Bread on the left.
Drinks on the right. Dry on the left, wet on the right. These are all things you can
That
do
is
to remember
awesome.
which one is yours. And there will be a time when someone will take your bread plate.
That's what
I don't want my
You be
bread.
wondering,
Leave my
okay.
bread alone.
Okay.
Especially on no round table.
There will
bread
be
alone.
someone that takes your bread plate. There will be someone that takes your glass.
Yes.
And when they do, you just hold it and ask the waiter for another one. Don't make a big deal. They
you
don't
took
know.
my glass.
I know why you doing that.
Yeah, okay.
Now I've done that. I've taken somebody else's
And then
glass.
the other thing is you have your dessert fork
Okay.
and knife or spoon at the top, and that's what you use for your dessert. And normally it will be placed at the top, okay? Always remember that etiquette, manners, social graces, it is situational. Okay, times change, but social graces and etiquette stay the same. But sometimes you have to use good judgment because sometimes things can be tweaked a little bit. Okay, so but outside in, you can't go wrong. Work from the as the course comes out, and your courses are your meal or your salad or your soup. That's your course. Then you just go out and in, and you can't go wrong. Okay.
Your water glasses.
Okay.
You have 3.
I have 3, okay? And that's basic because it could be more than that. Now, this is your water glass. It's the tall glass. And by no means am I promoting alcohol, but you have to see what it is, okay?
Right.
So you have the glass here that has the large bowl. That is your red wine glass. The large bowl because red wine has to air.
Oh, okay.
And then you have the smaller, more thinner wine. This is your white wine glass. Okay?
Wow.
And then this is your water glass, just like a tumbler, but it's glass. It could be iced tea or water.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Okay.
Could you put tea in
You
there?
could have a champagne flute, a cordial glass. It could go up to 10 cups. Okay?
What about coffee cups?
Coffee cup, it's wet, so where will it be?
Over here.
There you go. It'll be on the right side.
I made an A on that one.
Right beside
Okay,
you.
so
at the
coffee
top.
cup could go right
Right
here.
over here.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do
Yes.
they ever put 2 glasses, one for water and one for tea?
Yes, they can. Uh-huh.
Okay, so you could have an
Yeah.
additional
You
glass
could have an
here.
additional glass. And also, if you are not a drinker,
Okay.
you just have the waiter to remove these because they're not going to be used.
Oh, okay. They can just say,
They
I
can-
need some water glass or a tea.
Just have them remove it. Because
Oh,
it won't be
that's
used.
neat.
Mhm.
And did you wait for everyone to sit to be what do you call it, served? before you
Okay,
start
there's
eating?
a rule for that.
Okay.
Okay, if you're
Okay,
at a
so
table
that-
of 6 to 8,
Mhm.
you want to wait till everybody receives their food before you eat. If you're at a table that has more, you're going to go ahead and eat because your food can get cold.
Right.
Now, if someone at the table says, please go ahead, don't wait for me,
That's
Go
not
ahead.
bad etiquette. If they
That's
decide
not
to give you
bad
the
etiquette
pass, they give you
because
the
they're
pass.
giving you a pass.
Okay.
You know, because someone may have to take something back or something may not be right.
Right.
And you're sitting there and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. So that's the rule of thumb. 6 to 8, you wait for everyone. Over that, you're going to start to eat as maybe half of the people at the table get their food.
Okay. Like, see, you have your bowl and your plate and your dinner plate. Okay, when you have your soup, what do you do with that bowl?
Once you're done.
Do you-
Okay, when you have your
completed
soup,
it?
they will remove it.
Okay.
Your waiter. Now we're not talking about being at home. We're talking about being out at an event.
Right,
Okay.
right.
They will remove that bowl for you. As the courses come, they will remove it for you.
Okay.
Okay. And once you use a utensil, it never touches the table again.
Right.
Okay. So
Right.
once you use a fork or a knife or a spoon, it always lays on the edge of your plate because you want, even though table linens are to protect the table, you
Right.
want to keep those linens as clean as you possibly
Right.
can.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So also too, you want to know about if you drop a utensil on the floor, do you
Right.
bend down and pick it up? No, you call the waiter to come and get it,
Oh,
and they will give you another
that's
one.
an error
I know
I've
that's
made.
hard for me to do.
Uh-huh.
I knew it because I'd have
I'll be
picked
like,
it back
I got
up.
this, baby. It's hard for me
Wow.
to do.
Yeah,
I always
yeah.
pick it up.
You know, and where do you place your napkin if you have to go to the restroom?
Mm-hmm.
You have to take a break and you got to go to the restroom.
Mhm.
Lay it over the back of your chair
Okay, why would you do that?
because that is a sign to let the waiter know I'm not finished. I'll be back.
Good. Okay, I didn't know that.
Mhm. Now,
Oh,
when you're
okay.
done with your meal,
Uh-huh.
you take your napkin loosely and place it to the left side of your plate. That's a signal to the waiter that you're done.
So the napkin would still be on this side.
Yes, but loosely folded.
Fold, okay.
You never place your
Over
napkin
there-
in a finished plate or over your plate. Don't do that.
And I've seen that. Now, Anita, I've seen that.
Yes.
I really have.
Yes. It's bad manners.
I've seen that. I'm serious. I've
Okay.
actually seen
Even
them
even
place
though
it over there.
and even though it's a napkin, it's a cloth napkin,
Uh-huh.
you want to keep it as clean as possible. Even as ladies, we don't want to wipe it, our lipstick off with it. You just want to, napkins are used to dab, just to keep crumbs. Okay? So you never put your napkin in a
Huh.
finished plate, and you never, when you're done, push your plate away from you.
Oh,
I don't know.
wow.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes. hmm
Why?
So these are, because it's just bad manners. You don't
Okay.
push it away.
Okay.
And then another thing that I want to suggest to you, if you don't use it, you lose it. So
Mhm.
use proper etiquette, dining etiquette at home.
Okay.
Because if you use it at home, then you don't have to think about what to do when you go out.
Oh
Well,
wow! No, we eat
it's
it
true.
so full. We watch. Yeah, we're
Okay,
not
so
always, I have
do
a
it-
beautiful table, but we're never
Yeah, do it all the time, because then you don't have to
Yeah.
think about what, because it's like practice. So if you do it all the time.
Time.
So if you can tell, I have a lot of little sayings. And so my other saying is stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Good sayings. Good sayings.
Okay?
That's
Stay
like be ye ready at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So stay ready.
That's neat.
That way, when you go out, you're doing it all the time at home, and then you'll also do it properly when you go out.
Okay, your dessert, fork, and knife.
And it could be a spoon too. It just depends on what they're serving. It's going to be at the top.
Okay, why would you need the knife?
Well, it just depends. Sometimes you get a knife because they may serve cake,
Okay.
you know, or something. Sometimes they give you a spoon because it could have ice cream. So I put a knife there. It could be a knife or it could be a spoon.
Okay.
hmm
Okay.
That's a good
So
question.
now with the pandemic and everyone concerned about germs, what about shaking hands?
Okay,
And
yeah.
now, how would you?
You don't.
Because people are so used to that.
They're so
Is
used
now
to it, and
bad
it's a time
manners?
because, like today, meeting Elma for the first time, or meeting all of you for the first time, I would extend my hand, but I did not extend my hand
didn't want to
today.
offend you. It's like,
So
okay,
there
yeah.
is no handshaking. I mean, if you want to do elbows or whatever you do,
What
but-
about this one?
yeah, if it works.
okay with you?
You did great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
I want
but-
to know, did you
but-
feel comfortable with
oh, absolutely felt
Okay,
comfortable.
okay.
But yes, you would not handshaking right now. It's just not.
That's
you know,
right.
And if you are handshaking, you need to make sure you have hand sanitizer
That's a
and
good
you
point.
can wash your hands
Mhm.
immediately.
That's
Now,
right,
here
'cause you never
have
know.
a meeting college roommate,
Mhm.
and you give some suggestions for gift ideas.
Yes, and
That's
meeting a
neat.
college roommate, a good thing to do is to contact your roommate beforehand. whether they're local or they're away. And that way you can start talking and start making plans and seeing just how compatible you are or not.
That's a good point.
And start talking with that, because you don't need to wait until, if you possibly can, you don't want to wait until you get there.
So you
That's
have
true.
dorm etiquette and carpool etiquette?
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
Dorm etiquette. Okay, you're sharing a room with someone and it's very close quarters.
Y'all hear
That's
that, young
right.
people?
Okay,
Y'all
it's
hear that
extremely
out
close
there, young
quarters.
people?
That's
So
right.
you want to have that etiquette to where you are aware of other people's space.
That's right.
You want to be aware of other people's possessions, and you want to be considerate of lights and music
That's
and
right.
time and
That's important.
keeping your side of the room clean. So that's all a part of the dorm etiquette. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, then what's the carpool etiquette? This is my car. You better have some gas money.
Absolutely.
Leave it to Kimberly.
Yeah, so carpool etiquette, absolutely. You're gonna do your share. You're gonna be on time. You're gonna, when they say
Oh,
they're
thank
picking
you.
you up, you're gonna be
Thank
on
you.
time. You're gonna pay
I like
your
that.
share
Yes.
of the gas. You know, you're gonna bring a sweater. What if other people like it cold?
Ooh.
That's
Okay,
true.
so
Good
these are
point.
things. What if other people like it warm? So have something that you can put on and take off, because you don't want to say, turn the air down. Somebody else may be hot all the time. So you want to be considerate. And I know people, you don't think about these things, but
That's
these
true.
are all things that you need to think about and
That's
have those
true.
rules that you can
Yeah,
do.
because I had a
Okay.
friend, bless her heart, I love you, but you came
That is
over and
neat.
I
Okay.
had my fans on, and they kept saying, "Well, it's cold here. Turn off the fan. Turn off the AC." And I'm like, "Well, but I'm at my house. I'm comfortable. Would
Right.
you like a blanket?"
Right.
Oh,
right.
I was gonna ask her.
it's,
Say,
it's
"Oh,
all
may I
about
have a blanket?"
it's all about being considerate of others, and that's really a part of the social skills and etiquette, making others feel comfortable. Okay.
I was
That's
going to ask you
good.
how to walk. You know, you said that.
Oh yeah, show us how to walk. Show us how to walk.
Okay. The pageant walk.
Yeah, show us how to
Yes.
stand. We
I
like
can show
your
you the
stand.
pageant. I can
Okay.
show you. You kind of saw my stance a little bit.
Let the camera see. Let the camera see you do your thing. You still. Ooh.
Such a lady. She's such a lady.
Oh, she's.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Wait a minute, hang on.
do it again.
Come on.
You should never take a picture like this. You should never take a picture like this. You should never stand like this. I don't care how nice your legs are. It just looks better when you do it like this.
Wow. Did y'all hear that? So now we gotta start taking our pictures
gives
like
you,
this.
It gives you a different. It gives you a different stance.
Yeah,
I like that.
I do.
I love that.
Yes, and then you do that little pivot turn.
Go, girl.
She's a
Now do the
lady.
handshake. I like the way you do your.
And she brought the tea.
She's a lady.
That is
She's
so
a lady. Look, she's
deep.
a lady.
I know it. I have learned so
Awesome.
much.
Really? That is so exciting.
Before we close, what
Okay.
advice would you give to the audience? And I love the table setting that you set up. What advice would you give to?
The advice that I would give, I'm going to start with parents.
Okay.
Parents of young kids.
It's Cynthia.
Yes. Be sure that you teach your children. This is something that you need to add into your curriculum at home.
Okay.
It is our responsibility to make sure that our children have those basic rules of
Right,
etiquette and to
right.
know how to just resolve issues, conflict resolution,
Yeah.
just little things like that. Teach
Conflict,
them
yes.
now how to dress and what is appropriate. And then parents of teenagers, they should know by then, but if they don't, let's do it, because they're
Okay.
getting ready to go out into the world. They're
Right.
doing interviews, and
Mhm.
we want them to
Good
be
point.
prepared. And then for adults, it's never too late. Okay, maybe you need a refresher course, or maybe you don't know it, and it's okay to hire someone and get that coach to come and work with you and just teach you what to do and help you get that perfect, elegant presentation, be it a young
Alright.
man or be it young women.
Tell them your business, how to get in contact with you,
my
Anita.
Business, I am Anita
Yes.
Heiskell. My business is Prim, Poised and Proper LLC. I am at primpoisedandproper.com and Facebook page Prim, Poised and Proper.
And we will have that information also at the bottom of the screen and everything. So we thank you, Anita, for did y'all,
This-
like they said in the
this
country,
was
y'all learned
exciting.
something tonight?
This was
You know, in the
exciting.
country, we said lunch. We don't say lunch.
This was
How,
exciting.
I mean, that was so
This was
interesting. I
very
mean,
nice.
that was very good.
Very
and these
nice.
are things that we never would think that
Right.
we would need. I think I need a
Now, have you
refresher
written your book?
course.
Okay, that is a great question, Kimberly. It is actually in the works, and
Good, good.
I have had several people that have told me that I need to go in that direction.
I think so too.
And so
Yes.
I have,
Oh my
I'm in
gosh.
preparation,
Good.
doing some training to
Good.
get ready to get that going. I've actually started a couple of chapters, so you'll see it coming soon.
Yes, and we're going to have her back on the show to talk about her book. And you, I'll give your website again.
PrimPoisedandProper.com and Facebook, Prim Poised and Proper.
All right. Thank you all. And remember, good etiquette. What about, before we close? Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. Do we
Yes.
still need to say that?
Okay, please, thank you, you're welcome. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir.
But that's
No,
old
sir.
school.
It's old school, but it still works.
All right. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Revive.
Don't
It's old
tell me
school,
it's old school.
but it still works.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yes.
We
it
got
does.
it from Anita.
Yes.
Thank
Miss
you, Anita.
Memphis.
We're
Yes.
so honored and just blessed to have you on the show.
Thank you
Classy.
for having me. This has been a
Yes.
pleasure. I have enjoyed meeting you
Yes.
and talking about what I do. And
Yes.
thank you for having me.
Yes,
Old school
and we
glam.
actually had a
She has that Diane Carroll glam.
yes,
And you know,
The Diane Carroll
Miss
glam.
Tennessee. Yes.
before we go, your two sons.
Yes.
Okay, can you tell us what they're going?
Okay, I have Michael Jr. and Mason. Michael will be starting his junior year at Morehouse.
Go Morehouse.
And Mason has just graduated from the Oak Ridge School in Arlington, and
All
he's
right,
headed
Oak
to Prairie View
Ridge.
A&M.
Did you all hear that? World Review A&M, my alma mater. Yes. Shout out to PV, Productive of Producing People. Yes, PPP. All right. Thank you all. Thank you, Anita, for taking the
you.
time
Thank
to be
you
a part
so
of
much.
us.
Yes.
Stay
That's
tuned
fair.
every Monday, 8 p.m. for the Talk of Life Talk Show with Elma, Kimberly, Cynthia, and Linda. You never know who's going to be our guest, so you always want to tune in.
Yeah.
8 p.m. Thank you to our producer, Emmanuel and Carlos. We love you guys. And may God bless you and keep you until next Monday, 8 p.m. with the Talk of Life Talk Show with Elma.
Right.
Thank